Yesterday, President Biden's administration disclosed a plan that would make it harder for migrants to claim asylum in the U.S. WENY's Alexandra Dern spoke to a local professor who specializes in immigration law at Cornell Law School. Alexandra, what did you learn from him today?
Nick, this professor told me this rule is going to restrict asylum, specifically at the U.S.-Mexico border. The administration plans to issue a final rule by May 11th. This affects not only people near the border, but Americans across the country.
They are proposing a new rule that would say that people who want to apply for asylum generally must do so first in a country through which they're traveling, like Nicaragua or other countries, before they get to the United States.
Stephen Yale-Lair, a professor at Cornell Law School, specializes in immigration law. He explains if people fail to apply for asylum before they come to the United States, they would be restricted from even trying to get into the country.
And that way they hope that they would be able to control their borders while still offering some people the chance to apply for asylum.
The right to apply for asylum is written in the U.S.'s law and international law. Yale-Lair says the Biden administration wants to make sure everyone is treated fairly in the immigration process.
We need to make sure that those people who truly are fleeing persecution have a right to apply for asylum. And that's where the Biden administration rule tries to thread the needle between restricting asylum for those people who do not qualify while allowing asylum for people who do qualify.
This new rule would not directly apply to the U.S.-Canadian border up here in New York State. However, Yale-Lair says the rule would have indirect effects on upstate New York.
Because people who are allowed in then would be allowed to apply for asylum, and they may have relatives in upstate New York, or they may be working in upstate New York. So that in that sense, everyone across the United States will want to know whether this new rule would actually work.